What the hell just happened in Boston? The Celtics, fresh off a championship run, just did the unthinkable. They're breaking up the team. Jrue Holiday, the veteran glue guy who brought defense, toughness, and leadership, gone, traded, shipped out like he was some throw-in. And for what? Anthony Simons and a couple of second-round picks. At first glance, this move makes absolutely no sense. But once you dig deeper, the truth starts to reveal itself. This wasn't just a basketball decision. It wasn't about fit. It wasn't about chemistry. This was about money. And once you realize that, the trade becomes the first domino in what could be the Celtics' most shocking transformation in decades. They didn't just help Boston win, he helped them dominate. Defense, playmaking, big game experience. The dude did the dirty work that doesn't show up on stat sheets. And now, just weeks after hoisting the trophy, he's out. Boston sent him to Portland for Anthony Simons, a young, flashy scorer, and a couple of future picks. Not even a first-rounder. Fans? Stunned. Analysts? Scratching their heads. Even some players reportedly felt blindsided. This wasn't a depth move. This wasn't about fit. This was the Celtics letting go of a guy who just helped them win it all. And if that sounds crazy, it is. Unless you follow the money. Let's talk numbers. By trading Jrue Holiday, the Celtics save roughly $40 million in salary and luxury tax penalties this year alone. And that's just scratching the surface. The new NBA CBA punishes big spenders with something called the second apron. Go over it and suddenly you can't make trades, you can't sign buyout players, you can't even use mid-level exceptions. It's handcuffs for any team trying to stay competitive while also spending like a contender. With the core they had, Tatum, Brown, Porzingis, White, and Holiday, the Celtics were on pace to blow past that line. Think, $500 million in payroll and penalties next season. So they made a decision. Do we go all in on another title run and pay $500 million? Or do we cut bait, save cash, and buy ourselves time? They chose option 2. And that's when things started to shift, not just on the court, but in the front office. You can't talk about this trade without talking about Boston's new owner. Bill Chisholm, tech tycoon, private equity billionaire, and the new boss in Boston, just took over the team in a record-breaking $6.1 billion buyout. And now, his very first big move is trading away a championship piece for financial relief? That tells you everything. Maybe Chisholm is looking long-term. Maybe he doesn't want to blow through cap hell for one more shot at a ring. But Celtics fans are rightfully worried. Because some owners, they're in it to win. And others, they're in it for the bottom line. We don't know which camp Chisholm belongs to yet. But this trade feels like a red flag. Or maybe a giant neon billboard flashing profit first across the Boston skyline. Now here's the context that makes this whole thing make just a little more sense. Jason Tatum, Boston's franchise cornerstone, tore his Achilles late in the playoffs. A brutal injury, and one that could keep him out the entire next season. And here's the worst part. Achilles injuries don't just heal quickly. They linger. Ask KD, ask Kobe. They're career-changing. So the Celtics had a hard truth to face. Without Tatum, next season was probably a wash anyway. No Tatum equals no title. And if that's the case, maybe it makes sense to offload some salary now, bring in a young piece like Simons, and regroup when Tatum's ready to go again. Maybe. But man, that's a bitter pill to swallow for a team that just won it all. So let's talk basketball. What does this trade actually mean for Boston on the court? Well, they lose Jrue Holiday, one of the best perimeter defenders in the league, a guy with real playoff grit, the kind of dude you need when the game slows down and every possession matters. And in return, they get Anthony Simons, a dynamic scorer, young, athletic, microwave offense, but not a defender, not a veteran, not a floor general. This is a shift in identity. Boston's going younger, faster, more offense, less grit. And while some fans are excited about Simons' potential, others are asking the obvious question. Who steps up when the game gets ugly? Who leads when everything's on the line? Because Simons might light it up in February, but Jrue wins you games in June. Here's the part nobody's talking about. This trade might not be the end. In fact, it could be just the beginning. All season long, there were whispers that the Celtics were shopping players. Porzingis, Derek White, even Peyton Pritchard. Everyone brushed it off. They were winning, right? But now, the mask is off. New owner, injured star, luxury tax nightmare. Boston might be gearing up for a full reshuffle. Not a rebuild, but a retool, a soft reset. So don't be surprised if another vet gets moved, or if more unexpected trades shake up the locker room. This thing is only getting started. Let's zoom out. Because while Boston's cutting costs, there's another team out west doing the exact opposite. The Lakers, who also just got a new owner, are reportedly planning to spend like crazy. Mark Walter, the billionaire behind the Dodgers, now holds a major stake in the Lakers. And if history repeats itself, this guy is not afraid to burn cash for banners. He's already done it with baseball. And now, Lakers fans are dreaming big. New stars, big trades, aggressive roster building. Meanwhile, Boston's unloading assets. 2 legendary franchises, 2 massive fan bases, 2 new owners. One's going all in, the other's cashing out, for now. Which approach wins? Only time will tell. So where does this leave the Celtics? Honestly, in limbo. They've traded away a key piece of their title core. Their best player is sidelined with a scary injury, and the front office just sent a clear message. This isn't about now, it's about later. But the NBA doesn't wait. Teams are getting better, superstars are moving, and if Boston doesn't keep up, their championship window could slam shut faster than anyone expected. This is more than just a trade, it's a turning point. And depending on what happens next, we might look back at this offseason as the moment everything changed, for better or worse. So buckle up, Celtics fans, because this ride just got a whole lot bumpier.